Hello, everyone. This is the Insert Title Show, and I'm your host, Wolf Strife. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about World War One, the video game, not really the war. This came out in 2005 and is a decent strategy game. The reason why I got the game was because it runs off of the Blitzkrieg engine, and I'm a huge fan of the first Blitzkrieg game, which, if you don't know, was a World War II strategy game that came out in like 2000 or so. And it was a really, really good game, and I love the engine on it. The difference between this game and Blitzkrieg is naturally Blitzkrieg took place in World War II, where most of the combat was done with vehicles like tanks and airplanes and heavy artillery and all that kind of stuff. While this game does have some tanks and armored cars, but it's mostly the battles are decided mostly by infantry, which is how I thought it was going to be. You know, it's World War fucking One, yeah. The game isn't too accurate. I mean, the German campaign, the first level, I think, is the either the invasion of Belgium or France in 1914. You actually get some tanks and armored cars with you. So it's not the most accurate game, but it's an okay strategy game. I was just hoping for maybe some bigger battles, like seeing how we weren't going to have a lot of vehicles in this one, because I mean, in the first Blitzkrieg game, you know, some levels, I mean, you get like 12 tanks, 10 heavy artillery pieces, some anti-air machine guns, like some 20 millimeters, and some mortars, and just all that kind of stuff. This game, you really don't get too much. You get like one or two armored cars, maybe one or two tanks, a bunch of supply trucks, and some artillery, but the artillery in World War One sucks. I mean, artillery in Blitzkrieg was fucking awesome because you could hit targets like from half the map away. I mean, the range in Blitzkrieg with artillery was awesome. But that could also work against you too, because once you light up the enemy with your artillery, then the enemy artillery lights up on you. So you kind of have to be careful doing that. But yeah, in this World War One game, the range of the artillery really isn't far at all. Using the infantry as kind of a scale to figure out the range, probably the range of the artillery in this game is only like 300 yards. So there is no long distance artillery barraging really going on in this game, which sucks because that kind of makes one arm of your army kind of pointless. But, you know, the armored cars and the tanks and stuff, they're pretty cool. The airplanes in this game, you do get some, but they really aren't as awesome as the planes in Blitzkrieg. I mean, hell, in Blitzkrieg, you get, if you're playing as the Germans, eventually you get Me-262s and all kinds of crazy shit. And as the Americans, B-17s, you know, all that stuff. So yeah, airplanes were a lot cooler in Blitzkrieg. This World War One game, though, it really comes down to infantry. You do get cavalry, which is new, but I mean, they tend to just get mowed down by artillery and machine guns and stuff, so cavalry's kind of They're going to be annihilated, basically, once you send them into the battle. The campaigns in the game are okay. The German one was alright. I mean, you're basically on the offense the whole time, which is kind of tough, but I mean, it works. You get to command some tanks and armored cars and stuff, and usually you're just attacking the Allies, so pretty basic. The Russian campaign kind of sucked. I didn't really enjoy that one too much. Yeah, mostly infantry and cavalry in that one, so it's kind of tricky because machine guns and artillery will fuck your shit up, so you really have to be careful playing with just infantry and cavalry. I mean, armored cars and tanks, even though there's not a lot of them, can definitely turn the battle around for you. The Entente campaign, though, was really, really fun because it had a pretty good selection of defensive battles and offensive battles. You get to command British soldiers and French soldiers and stuff, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good strategy game. It's definitely nowhere near as good as the first Blitzkrieg game, but I mean, it's okay. I got it for like $5, so I was okay with it. It takes a long time to beat all three campaigns. It probably took me about 20 hours, mainly because they are just tough, very tough, because you're having to deal with you only get infantry and cavalry for the most part, so you're having to send wave after wave against enemy artillery, machine guns, and entrenched infantry. And if they got armored vehicles of any kind, I mean, so yeah, it's a pretty tough one. And you don't have core units like you did in Blitzkrieg. Like by core units, I mean units that gain experience and you can give them better vehicles and weapons and stuff. You don't get that in this game, so that kind of makes it tricky too. So, yeah. But overall, it's an okay strategy game, so check it out if you want.